This is global warming.
Climate change is real. It's happening, and we as humans are undoubtedly responsible for it. Practically every scientific association or academy supports this claim. The evidence is overwhelming. Since industrial times, our planet's climate has been warming faster than ever before, and the culprit is clear. The concentration of carbon dioxide has never reached our current levels in recorded history. The effects on our planet are already clear.
Ice sheets in Greenland are melting at 5 times the
where
pace
Los Angeles is dealing with the biggest wildfire in the city's history.
7,000 acres of the
livestock production.
Record drought in Texas was made roughly 20 times more likely because of man-made climate change, specifically meaning warming that comes from greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide.
You know, most of us are already quite aware that this is happening. As outdoors people, we define ourselves through these spaces in our environment and the ways that we move through them and recreate in them. But we need to ask ourselves a very important question. What role do we play in this?
For me, snowboarding, you know, it's all about freedom.
It means freedom. It means a different way of seeing the world around us.
The thing that I love more than anything is the anticipation leading up to a deep powder day. So, and I guess I haven't thought about this before, effectively most of the happiness in my life is somehow derived from skiing.
Climbing has become my identity and a way to express myself.
Well, I've come to view climbing really as a spiritual practice, having to do with really the space that you put yourself into. It just naturally, I think people's first experience with climbing, where there's a lot of fear involved, it does put them in this sort of timeless state, just totally ultra-focused, and there's just not many things that, I mean, people can practice meditation for 20 years to try to reach that you get almost the first time you climb.
I think when you're a little kid and you get exposed to the mountains or the ocean or a real special place, it kind of just leaves a mark on you. I think there's no question about it that climate change is going to impact climbing. We've already seen it, especially in alpine environments.
It feels like it's really reaching a critical momentum. Growing up, you'd have bad snow years occasionally, but it wasn't who is going to get snow and who isn't.
Look at this big puddle of water. This is at the main decided there actually to shut down.
It really hurt the businesses up here.
I have not figured out how to reconcile the fact that a changing climate will potentially change the thing I love, which is skiing, and the fact that I drive and fly in planes around the world to access skiing. I have not figured out how to reconcile that.
So what can we do? A number of resorts, brands, and organizations are already working towards a positive impact.
I think brands 100% need to be talking about this. The brands that aren't are just digging their own graves. Companies are no more than people. Lead by example, find your levers.
We have a pretty robust composting program as part of our waste reduction initiatives here. We compost over 50,000 pounds every year. This year it's looking like it's going to be quite a bit higher than that.
We're constantly looking to reduce our footprint from our products, from our travel. All of our sunglasses are made from plant-based material. There's no petroleum in anything on that front. All of our printed materials use FSC.
Access Fund, we're focused on keeping climbing areas open and conserving the climate environment. We actually buy threatened climbing areas on private land. We also have a public policy operation, so we go to Washington, D.C., lobbying on the Hill and working with land managers at the highest levels of the government to make sure that climbers have a voice in how our public lands are managed. And then we have a really powerful stewardship program. And so we organize hundreds and thousands of hours of trail work and erosion control work around the country. We work with and try to support those local climbing organizations like the Boulder Climbing Community here in Colorado.
The Boulder Climbing Community, the BCC, is a stewardship organization. What that means is we care for the climbing areas in our backyard.
And I'm just ruthlessly focused on stewardship is why we exist.
I think in our day-to-day lives, following leave no trace practices and being models are simplest and cheapest things we can do.
It can be as simple as changing your diet to focus more on vegetarian options, picking up some trash while you're out hiking.
So I think that awareness that this matters, what I do matters.
We need everyone in our community involved. If you're looking for a way to have an impact in your community or to see change, like this is a way you can see change like tomorrow.
Same thing with carpooling and public transportation. We try to incentivize coming up with multiple people in your car or riding a bus. The hope is that once they see how easy it is to take the bus to A Basin on a Saturday, maybe they decide that they and their friends can get a carpool thing going at work Monday through Friday.
These things around driving electrics, and it's great, but we need massive policy change.
Getting people thinking with their dollars is incredibly powerful. You know, everybody that skis and snowboards should be supporting companies and organizations that are working to fight climate change.
People that love the outdoors and derive a lot of enjoyment from the outdoors, share that voice and share that love and make sure that others know how important that outdoor recreation is.
I think we're a group of people that care a lot.
You know, they have this term recreational user groups. Well, I hate to hear that using the environment. That's kind of the old mentality of how we got to where we are, you know, this idea of exploiting and using and extracting. And so if you're going to go outdoors, there's a whole mindset that you develop, a whole philosophy, a whole religion, if you like.
The ability to interact with nature is incredibly powerful.
Not just, you know, because it's fun going fast or something, but it is mentally healing to get outside.
Without these avenues to experience our wild places, people will get out into the woods less and less. If you're not out there, if you don't value it, if you don't love it, then you're going to get this feedback loop where people stop protecting it even more. I mean, if you are anything other than hopeful, what's the point? You know, you can't just throw your hands up. You got to stay hopeful. You got to stay inspired, and you know, frankly, a little bit angry. But you know, you got to keep working and do everything that we can.